Thank you so much for joining us on KEXP. We are listener-powered radio, 90.3 FM in Seattle, 92.7 FM in the Bay Area. You can find us streaming around the world at KEXP.org, also on the KEXP mobile app. I'm Cheryl Waters here in the KEXP studios in Seattle. Ben Steller is here today. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We're so happy to have you here. Scream from New York. New York has been in constant rotation here at KEXP, and I am excited to hear these songs live. It's Ben Steller live on KEXP. Take it away.
Take my time. Little church burning in the cold, low home of holy motors. Black smoke coughing through their mask. Old man is taking pictures. The people didn't make a sound. A humming blood all around. This morning in America. Started, but it's coming up slowly and all to the back. You asked me the question, you gave the answer. I can't explain it as you never listen to. Don't ever hold, don't ever touch. Hold it down, like a bag. It's all out, the more it's cracked. They don't complain without the noise of the world. If they could hear the picture, it'd sound like this. A gasp of confirmation that they exist. It echoes through the city and passes on. I hear it every evening and every dawn. Started. Hold it down, like that.
Ben Stiller live on KEXP, songs from the new album Scream from New York, New York. We're live here in the KEXP studios with Ben Stiller. That song Pumpkin comes from their latest album, Scream from New York, New York.
just imagine you a waltz on the road. It's past where we came in, past where we're at. We're out on another street, and this is just here now, and this is just happening. Meant it was right, and as I was leaving, I thought I heard you say, it's just for a little while, and I have the answer. Just for a little while, I know what it's like. Just for a little while, I have the answer. Just for a little
Ben Stiller live on KEXP. Wow, that was incredible. That sounded amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just listen to you and look at all of you and just what a cohesive unit you are. And I think about what I've read and what I know about the band and how young you were when you started. Just at the beginning of it, you've pretty much been together your entire adult lives
Yeah.
doing this. It's incredible. I just think about what that journey must have been like and how you've grown. Do you even know how many shows you've done together? What's it been, 6, 7 years now?
I don't know how many shows we've done.
It's a lot.
But yeah, no, it's been Sky and I started when we met when we were 14, and we started making music, and then we moved to New York to go to school, and that's where we met the other three, and then yeah, it's been like 7 years.
I've read that when you went to New York, which had this sort of burgeoning DIY scene, and I know you've talked about this a lot, but it was just kind of on a downward spiral about the time you came there. But you didn't let that daunt you, and I can imagine as two young people moving to this big city with this long musical legacy, that could have been sort of a surprise, maybe even disappointing, but you just sort of paved your own path and carved out a space for yourself. Can you tell me about those early days and how you just kind of got out there and made a space for yourself?
Yeah, it definitely was disheartening because, we came to New York because New York music has always been kind of like the biggest part of our lives, and it always seemed like, a calling in a way. But yeah, the week we got to New York, I think Silent Barn, which was one of the very last like DIY venues of the past era, closed. So like we were all kind of like expecting like this mecca of like a bunch of cool music and a bunch of like, I don't know, culture kind of unfolding before our eyes in that way. And it definitely was not that in what we expected. But I don't know, I think it was like all of the venues and all of the bands, it was very difficult to crack into. It was very difficult to get people's attention. No one really wanted anything to do with us. So we, had to kind of do it ourselves. And so we'd like rent out weird gallery spaces and things like that and just play shows for our friends. And that was kind of really the first 4 years of us being a band, I think, at least up until the pandemic.
Yeah, and then I feel like with the pandemic, we obviously couldn't play shows, so we started focusing a lot more on the songs, which maybe seems like that would have been the case since the beginning, but we were so focused on playing live, and then we started focusing on the writing more, and then everything became more collaborative, and then I guess like sort of like the pandemic was sort of a before and after moment for us.
I think that sounds like a great trajectory, and especially given where you were at your lives young, let's just get out there and play. And I mean, you have such confidence and such presence in your live shows now. I imagine that was a growing process, just learning to get out there in front of an audience and do your thing, and you do it so well now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think that's like a big thing about New York that we've really learned, and I'm really glad that we learned, because I think it's something that, you know, people kind of go their lives, you know, people expect New York to kind of give everything to you. Like, you move to New York and instantly you're cool, and instantly you can become a rock star or whatever. But if you like really pay attention to kind of like the lineage of not just New York music, but New York art, it's a lot of people coming there because they can't go anywhere else, sort of. And it's, you know, they weren't spoon-fed this like insane cultural experience. They really had to make it for themselves. So as time has gone on, I've really taken that very seriously. And I think it's like, if you're going to, you know, make New York a part of your identity, like a lot of people like to do, you really have to contribute. You know, there's big shoes to fill. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've considered that you've made New York part of your identity, but Sam and Skyler, you both, growing up in Michigan, made the choice to move there together to go to college and start this band. And you've named your album Scream from New York, New York. So obviously it's a city that you've embraced. Can you tell me what New York has meant to you as a band?
Well, I think the main reason why we knew this record was going to be a New York record is it is the thing that brought us all together. None of us are from New York originally, and when we all met each other, the main thing we were trying to do is figure out how the city works and figure out how, the ins and outs of what New York is. And so in a lot of ways, it was like, I don't know, it's kind of like a rebirth in a way. Like, we all came here and it was, we were all of a sudden new people, and we were kind of the only people we knew in that new world. So New York was kind of just the, you know, common denominator we had when when we were talking to one another.
Well, if New York is the place that brought you together as a band, is this a collaborative effort? Is songwriting something that you all do together?
Yeah, it is. It's a very, like, it always kind of tricks us in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of times one of us will have, you know, a fully fleshed out song, and we'll present it to the rest of the band thinking like, okay, like, I did it, but someone will play a different bass line, or like maybe Sam will sing something differently, and by the time it's done, it sounds nothing like that initial product, but because it's gone through this kind of like ping-ponging, like quality control of all of us, it really becomes its own thing, and it's very difficult to, you know, tell who's writing what exactly, which is a really cool thing.
Well, as connected as you are to New York, you have a deep connection with the UK. Both of your records have come out on UK labels, and you've toured with tons of great UK bands that we love here at KEXP, like Idols and Shames. You're currently on tour with Fontaines DC. You recorded with Dan Carey, a beloved producer from the UK. What has it felt like to be so embraced by a country and all the people over there who flock out to your shows?
Yeah, I think it's like meant a lot, because it going out there for the first time definitely like changed our trajectory. Like, we were definitely very like isolated in New York because there was kind of a lack of a scene, and our, like, when we first signed with So Young, it was like it was still in the middle of the pandemic. And I think like instantly when we got there, I think people just appreciated the music almost like instantly, where I think I don't know, rock music has just always, it never kind of died out over there, whereas in the US there was definitely like a feel that like guitar band music was kind of like in the background. So I think it took us to go out to the UK and them like embracing us the way they did, that kind of like kickstarted everything else that happened in the States. So it's kind of like a reverse. Like, we tried to like come to New York and make it there, but it wasn't until like just those England shows, because I think people there are just also way more inclined to like go to shows, and that's how like they discover new music. So yeah.
Your new album, Scream from New York, New York, is out on Dirty Hit Records, and I heard there's a fun little story about how you got on that label.
Yeah, it is really funny. Right after we put our EP out, we were, you know, like a lot of labels were contacting us, and Dirty Hit invited us to go see a show with them while they were in town. and some drinks were had, and then Sam, I think it was you who made the decision to.
I think so. I think I made the suggestion.
Yeah, basically we're like, what do we do? Like, it's like really late now. There's, it seems like bars are closing. It was like a Tuesday, and they were like, why don't we just come back to our basement and we'll play a show for you guys? And so we did. And so like Jamie, the owner, and then a bunch of other people there, all kind of piled into our tiny little like Bushwick basement, and we played them our set.
We played them like a 30-minute set, and yeah. It went well.
Yeah, it was kind of like after that we were like, okay, we have to sign to them now. You know what I mean? It was
There was it was bonding experience.
Oh, so it was more like you had to say yes to them, not them saying yes to you.
That's right.
So, yeah. We knew they could hang.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I've heard you say in interviews that you want to be doing this forever, which I love to hear. And I'm sure in some respects you just want to take things day by day. But do you think about ways you can set a course for longevity as a band?
I mean,
definitely.
yeah. Oh, good.
I think, really, it's funny you say the day-by-day thing, because that's been on my mind a lot recently, because, being in a band is definitely, like, a rocky thing to do. I feel like it's always kind of, there's another challenge, and I guess that maybe goes with any endeavor that you're taking really seriously, but for us, this is our lives, and so, yeah, like, one thing I've been really thinking about a lot recently is just really enjoying, moment by moment, especially like an experience like we're doing right now, even being here, but, being on tour with Fontaines is, like, there's a lot of moments that hit us where we're just like, I really try to like take it in. And I feel like in a weird way, that is a real key to longevity. Cause I think when it's important to have your, you gotta be smart, and we've got like really smart people working around us, like on our team or whatever. And I'd like to think we're fairly smart too, but I think like if you're so focused constantly on this like other thing, you lose track of what's most important. That's what's going on around you in the present. And so, I feel like more and more like especially with all the touring, we've gotten a lot better about doing that.
I think it's also just like staying focused on the music. I think that's something that people really forget about, and it's something that's really difficult, especially like if you're fortunate enough to be in our spot where, we're touring all the time, and there's a lot of obligations and there's a lot of opportunities. But like before all of that, I kind of could tell you like what I wanted our trajectory to be as a band and like how I want this music to evolve. And I think kind of staying in dialogue with 14-year-old Skyler and Sam is something I try to do all the time. And it makes everything else a lot less scary, I think.
Well, good luck on that journey. And Sam, the only here is now. So I'm glad you're living in the present and enjoy it. This journey is going to be a fun one. Yes, be here now. A big thank you to all of you. Thank you so much for stopping by today. We've been so looking forward to this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Live here in the KEXP studios, it's been stellar. Scream from New York, the fabulous new album, one of my favorite from this summer. And you can support great music discovery like this. Go to KEXP.org. We're listener powered. Make a gift in any amount and make sure that you can support great music, live music. We love it here at KEXP. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get notification every time we launch a new video. Once again, a big thank you. It's been stellar live on KEXP. Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.